I was so excited to get back into oil painting, but pretty much everything that could go wrong with this painting went wrong. The paint dried too quickly on the first layer. I smashed my glass of water all over the floor, squeezed out the wrong colors, couldn't open two paint tubes that I actually needed, and almost ended up with a blister trying to get them open. And then discovered that my medium had literally turned into unusable jelly. But weirdly, this painting ended up teaching me something that I think I really needed to learn about perfectionism. I chose this peacock as my next source before my trip to Sri Lanka because I knew it would look really good in oil paint. I found the image so beautiful and thought it would be the perfect thing to do for painting. I'd also just gotten a brand new easel which I couldn't wait to start using. And the crazy thing was, when I went to Sri Lanka, I started seeing peacocks everywhere, and I got this whole idea to make an Instagram reel about it. So I kept chasing them around trying to get good footage. But it turns out that they're actually super shy. Every time I got close enough to film them, they'd either run away or fly off. So I never really got the perfect footage I wanted, but it did make me even more obsessed with peacocks. And I was so looking forward to starting this painting once I got back. But as soon as I took out the canvas to start painting, so many things went wrong. The first layer of paint is very dark, and you're meant to pull away the dark paint to reveal the lighter values. But my canvas dried so quickly, I think because there wasn't enough oil mixed in with the paint, that it was really hard to subtract the paint. So I couldn't really see my outlines properly. And then when I came back to work on the next layer, I was trying to set up my camera to film and accidentally pushed over a glass of water onto the floor. It smashed into 1,000 pieces, flying across the floor and water dripping off the table, so I had to clean up all the glass and wipe up the water. Then I squeezed out the wrong paint colors onto my palette, and two of the colors that I needed would not open no matter how hard I twisted. They were too dried up at the lids. I eventually found out you can put them in very hot water for a few minutes to loosen up the lids. And then when I finally thought I was ready to start again, I found out that my bottle of Galkid, which is a medium that thins oil paint and it makes drying time faster, had turned into jelly and pretty much had to be thrown out. Luckily, I dug around and found another bottle. It was jelly on top, but still somewhat liquid underneath. But it had this really thick honey-like consistency, which is not what we want, but I had no other choice. It was a pain to work with. The highlights started dripping everywhere, so I wiped up the drippy mess and just made best of the situation. As someone who has just started out and has been uploading almost daily for about 2 weeks now, I have found that YouTube is truly a reflection of my internal state. It holds up a mirror to all my insecurities. All the resistance I've felt as an artist has come up again while making YouTube videos. The perfectionism, the overthinking, the internal dialogue, the fear of getting it wrong. But making these videos is forcing me to get over myself. I'm getting better at noticing the negative thoughts without dwelling on them, and then just getting on with creating. And now I have this new understanding that I can take back into my painting practice. Maybe learning to create isn't just about learning the technical skills. It's also learning how to move through the resistance that comes with creating. For a shy person like me who would rather blend into the wall in most rooms I'm in, I'm learning to essentially ask for, receive, and accept attention. I actually learned a lot from the actual process of filming it, and I don't think I'll make another painting video like this again. Editing is so time consuming, especially when you're dealing with hours of footage. I use a camera sometimes as well, and I actually prefer editing on my phone. So the whole process just ends up feeling like so many more steps than I want to spend time on right now. The footage is huge. The uploads to YouTube take forever. Recording the voiceover takes time because I need breaks, and then there's syncing everything together. Maybe there are ways to make this process easier, but honestly, I don't really want to spend my time trying to become an editor. But more than that, I think it made me realize that I don't want to spend so much time filming my art and my life for content. It takes me away from being in the moment, and the whole process becomes a job in itself, which is definitely something I'm trying not to recreate. I don't want to turn making art into content just because that seems like the obvious thing to do. I want to focus on my practice so I can actually get better at it. Even though I can still get into the flow while I'm filming, having to relive the process afterwards, going through hours of painting footage and editing it, kind of takes away some of the magic for me. Painting makes me present. Filming it means I'm constantly thinking about documenting it. And sometimes I think I just want the painting to stand up on its own. And I don't think there's anything wrong with filming your process, but for me, creating something like this can feel so personal. It's kind of an intimate thing between you and whatever you're creating. I think one part of me wants to become a really good artist, and another part of me wants to give back to the world in a different way. There's some overlap between my art and my YouTube channel, but I'm starting to understand that they don't have to be one and the same. I think I actually need to spend more time speaking on camera because that's something I genuinely want to improve. And it's not just because I want to grow my channel. I want to be better at talking about my art when I eventually create my own collection. I think talking about life, the things I'm going through, and the things I'm learning will help me become more comfortable expressing myself. I found myself again through rediscovering art in my 30s, and it's played a huge role in healing my mental health. I honestly can't imagine not having these creative practices in my life, even if I never end up making art full time. Starting YouTube is also helping me figure out my why. My why for making my art and my why for having this channel. There's so much to an artist outside of the art they make, and I think I want to use this channel to share those parts, even if I'm not exactly sure what that's going to look like yet. I'd still love to make my art journaling tutorials and share what I'm learning from painting, of course. I think I just prefer writing about my art process rather than filming every second of it. It's actually quite cathartic to write everything down when I don't have anyone to update at the end of the day. I've actually started a Buy Me a Coffee page that I'm using as the Lushment art diary, and I really like that format. It feels low pressure. I don't have to curate everything or spend ages making it perfect like I might feel like I have to on Instagram. I can just update it whenever I have time or if I see something cool I want to share. I'll link it in the description if you're interested in following along or supporting me there. So for now, I think I need to focus on learning. That means doing things quickly, doing them sustainably, and not turning something I love into something that could lead to more burnout. So, no more perfectionism and no more filming paintings just for the sake of having content. I've already completed a still life painting 30 minutes under the recommended time, so I know I'm improving when it comes to letting go of perfectionism. I still have a long way to go. There's so much to learn about painting, about YouTube, and about what I actually want to create and share. But I think this is something I'm slowly getting clarity on while putting myself out there. My art and this channel might overlap, but they don't have to become the same thing. And for now, I'm just really happy that this messy peacock I started with turned into the beauty that it is in real life.